Hey, what's the biggest tire size that I can fit on a
42
stock Tacoma?
When we started Mountain Yotas, we definitely discussed how badly we wanted to do corporate builds for companies that we love. So this Yeti truck that we built means a lot to us both professionally and personally, because Yeti builds some of the best mountain bikes in the world, and they happen to be just 10 minutes away from the shop in Golden, Colorado. So thank you to Yeti, first of all, and let's do a breakdown on everything we did for this big brand new Tundra that was sponsored by Toyota. Now, Yeti Cycles come with Fox shocks, so it only made sense for us to do these brand new Fox DSCs for the 3rd gen Tundras for the first time at our shop. They are very new. I think we got some of the very first production run on these. Fox speaks for itself. It comes on their bikes and it's now on their truck, but you know Fox, you know the DSCs. They have dual adjusters, high speed and low speed damping adjusters. It's some of the best stuff there is. I mean, it's Fox. What more can I say? These things have big beefy coils on the front. Everybody's going to a fatter diameter coilover on these 3rd gen Tundras. In the beginning, when parts started coming out for 3rd gen Tundras, they had normal 2.5 coilovers with a 3-inch IED spring. That's gone up. So there's some reason behind that. A little bit better ride quality with a bigger coil in the front here. And Icon upper control arms, they didn't sponsor it. I don't think Icon would sponsor something where everything else is Fox dominated. So, but we needed upper control arms on here, and that's what we got. Obviously, these are not leaf spring trucks anymore. They are links. Links ride a little bit better than leaf springs. It's more flexibility to really do more custom stuff too. So we didn't touch the links. These are the stock links. This thing rides like a dream. It is purpose built as a daily driver that is more capable off-road. So we went with 35-inch tires. These 35s, they're Maxxis Tires, and Yeti Cycles come with Maxxis Tires on their bikes as well. So that is rad, a lot of crossover. I'm running Maxxis Tires on my truck right now too, but this Yeti truck is outfitted with the AT tires. I did drive these in the snow, in the mountains, on the highway. It was well planted. It felt awesome. So go ahead and pick up some Maxxis tires from us at Mountain Yotas, and I'd go with the ATs as a daily driver for sure. We did Method wheels on this truck as well. Method is fantastic. That's one of our top choices all the time for wheels on any Tacoma build, any Tundra build, any 4Runner build. We usually start with Method wheels. There's a reason behind that. They're always high quality. They usually balance really well, and also they just kind of fit the styling of Toyotas overall. So they go with it. You can kind of just, you know, pick any Method wheel and it's going to fit with the look of a Toyota truck. We decided to go with the CBI Covert front bumper on this build. It's a very OEM looking bumper that fits the body lines perfectly, and it gives you the ability to run a winch, and it has 2 additional recovery points as well. This bumper requires cutting on the installation process. It's a little more involved than meets the eye when you see it on here and done. You have to remove the grill, you remove the bumper itself to do the cuts, and then we take out the crash bar, and it looks awesome. It mounts right to the frame. It gives you more strength in the front for impact protection. They have an option where you can add a bull bar too to get some more grill protection. But if you want to keep your truck a little bit more lightweight and avoid having cuts on the sides to get high clearance on the sides, then this is a great option. CBI makes really high quality products. Red, do you think you look like Morgan Wallen?
Kind of, yeah.
Now, jumping back to the rear bumper, this is also from CBI, and my goodness, this thing is absolutely beautiful. The aggressive cuts that we make in the body here set this bumper apart. I haven't seen a 3rd gen Tundra bumper that I think is more stylish than this thing, and it is a brute too. This is going to take a hit if it gets one. This is the same one we did on Jordan Montera's Tundra as well, so you might recognize it, but man, it pops on here like crazy. Some of my favorite things about it are the fact that it retains your factory tow hitch completely, so you're not affecting your towing whatsoever. The same tow ratings that you get from the factory are still here on the Tundra. And I also just really like the fact that it maintains all of your sensors. So not just your parking sensors, but also your blind spot monitors. They're all integrated right into this. And again, CBI, you guys knocked it out of the park on all your 3rd gen Tundra stuff as well. And speaking of which, these rock sliders look stellar on here too. These are CBI made in America DOM tubing rock sliders. And you want rock sliders, you guys. If you're just getting a daily driver and you think you don't need rock sliders, the thing is, they're DOM tubing that are attached directly to your frame. This is going to help side impact safety for sure. Also, you're never going to get a door ding. And on this truck, I think the most useful case is going to be the ability to use these 0 degree rock sliders as steps, because we have a full set of Prinsu racks on the cab and on the topper. I'm going to be brutally honest here about Prinsu racks. These new Prinsu Pro Racks are awesome. But when I first got my Tacoma, I put a Prinsu rack on it and I didn't like it. It didn't seem strong enough. It does look good, but it did not seem like it was strong enough, and I didn't have the confidence in that rack to run it. So they kind of knew that. They addressed everything with these new Prinsu Pro Racks. They are much beefier. The side panels are doubled up and they look aggressive. They look even better than Prinsu's did before. And Prinsu's always had an awesome load bar because you can actually use carriage bolts in them and just drop them in. So in order to put different accessories and stuff on your crossbars, you don't need to remove the crossbars from the rack to do it necessarily. They still have that, but these new crossbars, it's their own extrusion and they're extremely strong. They have some geometry underneath, which is really cool because you're not going to really use the bottom of a crossbar, right? You can't mount anything underneath. There's no room. So they said, let's use some of this space up to improve how rigid these are and just make an overall stronger rack. They still maintain the drop-in feature, so it's the same kind of cutouts where you could use a carriage bolt on here. And, you know, the doubled up panels look awesome. It makes the logos pop, and I have all the confidence in the world that you can use these Prinsu Pro Racks to mount anything without a problem. Last but not least, guys, I mean, it's always the start of the show. It's my favorite part of any build because it's what truly separates a truck build and makes it completely unique. This wrap was done by our best friends over at Pureblind. Pureblind is a really unique company because they are true artists, but they're also really good at business. I'm going to let Nick take it from here and show you his thought process on this wrap. And we'll show you some of the install stuff too. We love these guys.
All right, guys, I'm Nick. I'm the owner of Pureblind, and today we're going to talk about this Yeti wrap. It's on a Tundra. As you can see, it's got a topper, and this is the template. This is actually the final artwork for this vehicle. Now, when we do a vehicle wrap, we have to kind of break it down a little bit because obviously a computer file is this big and the vehicle is the size of this room, right? This is 10 scale, so it's 10% the size of a real vehicle, okay? So when we go to do this, every single thing that we do is 10% the size, and then we blow it up when we go to print it, and it becomes full scale. So in this case, you know, with Yeti, they have a very, very clean brand, and as you can see, every single thing about, you know, this matches their branding and everything that they do on their bikes, you know. Obviously, they've got Toyota as a key sponsor here. It's like the main sponsor, as you could say that. And, you know, Yeti, very prominent down the side, and then all of their supporting sponsors down the sides here. And of course, Mountain Yotas, who built this rig and did a really great job doing that, you know. So when we go to do this, we actually try to show every single part of the vehicle the way that it'll actually be in the final, but it's really hard to show. I mean, it's two-dimensional, it's really flat. So in this case, if it's just a few colors, it does look a little bit more plain than it would, but usually if it looks really good here, it's gonna look really great in the final. And you can see even like the gaps here we were paying attention to make sure that this was a perfect line, you know, as it went up. And if you look at the vehicle in person, you can also see that this stripe actually continues over the roof of the topper too. So every little part of this is considered. Now, how do we actually chop this thing up to make it work? Okay, because we can't just print it as one big piece. Each thing is its own panel. Okay, so if we look at this, these are actually the panels that we have to produce. So all of these, if you look at these, are separate little boxes, and we'll make these into artboards and then, you know, chop it up and print these out separately so that every single thing can be printed or installed as section per section per section. That allows us to line things up a little bit cleaner, and it also allows it to fit on the printer, even though they're huge printers. You know, they're not the size of a vehicle. So even the door handles have their own little boxes too, so that, you know, if there's a graphic that's involved with them, those could get considered as well. You know, you can even see that there's a roof rack on top of the topper here. We just really wanted to show the way that it really was going to be in the final. You know, we think this looks really, really clean at the end. The actual wrap in person is even better.
So there it is, everybody. This thing is a total head turner, neck breaker. It's impossible not to look at it rolling down the road, and it's a lot of fun to drive. It feels amazing. The Fox shocks feel great. The tires perform really well, and they're nice and quiet. I have no issue saying I think they're gonna last a long time. This wrap, I mean, come on, just look at it. In person, it's absolutely nuts. And there are a couple of things I want to mention that I would do to take this to the next level, and specifically that I would do to make it so that it's more geared specifically towards mountain biking. Number one, we need to do onboard air on here, so I'm sure we're going to do that soon. I would do an ARB twin on this thing so that everybody could use the air for their bikes while they're ripping. I would also do a road shower or any sort of, you know, shower on board here, because you want to be able to clean your bikes. You want to be able to clean yourself up before you get in this truck when you're out ripping the mountains. And then personally, for me, if this is my truck, I'm going to upgrade the links. I'm probably going to do the Camberg kit on here. I would do long travel. I would do the rear links, and I would make this thing completely nuts, because these 3rd gen Tundras, especially the hybrid turbos, they have so much power, they have so much torque that you can go really aggressive and put these on 37s or 40s without even having to re-gear or anything like that, and go long travel and make it insane. I'm a little bit different though. I'm okay with daily driving something that's not necessarily practical as a daily. But again, this is purpose built for a corporation that's going to use it to shuttle riders, and that's just me. You know, there'd be a winch on here, there'd be all sorts of you know, more gnarly upgrades and more extreme things. But I think especially Red knocked it out of the park on this build. Literally 3 years ago, Red and I were talking about doing corporate builds just like this, and here we are doing them today. So it's awesome. Now, Fly Low gear, we're coming for you. Never Summer, we're coming for you. Coors, we're coming for you. The Denver Nuggets, we're coming for you, especially Rocky. Your Tundra's whack, man. Let us build a Tundra for you, Rock. What are you doing, man? You deserve something better. We'll do something crazy like this. I've seen you out there standing on top of it at the parade. It looked like your rack was gonna fall off. Let's get you a 3rd gen. But I digress, you guys. This video's been long enough, and I just appreciate you all watching. We're starting to grow a little bit, and I'm going to put more and more effort into not just building better trucks, but also putting out better, more informative content. If you ever need anything, hit us up at MTN Yotas on Instagram. Please like and subscribe. It'll help us out, certainly. And stay tuned for the next one. We're going to be talking about the C4 Rock Runner bumpers on a build that has portals on it too for our buddy Jason. Peace.